Good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Nothing But Sports with Kent Sterling for Wednesday, August 14th, 2019. Brought to you by the great people at Today's Dentistry. Dr. Mike O'Neill's been my dentist the last 26 years. Do you know why? Because he's the best dentist in the world. That's why he can be your dentist. Just call him, 317-849-2933. Let's talk about sports on this gorgeous Wednesday in Central Indiana. We're at Grand Park today, where at 4 o'clock, the Indianapolis Colts and Cleveland Browns are going to engage in the first of two inter-squad workouts. The Colts and the Browns going to be working out separately and then together a little bit, and this is going to be fun for the guys because it's more fun to hit somebody else than it is to hit your own brothers, right? The big news from yesterday, and this was really last night, Chris Ballard in a conference call with media explained a little bit about Andrew Luck's injury and the Indianapolis Colts, their response to that injury, how it's being diagnosed, how it's been diagnosed, and what the protocol is for recovery moving forward. This came on the heels of Jim Irsay the previous day being a guest with Jeff Rickard and Bill Polian on Sirius XM talking about a bone, the Mo bone, and I guess the Mo bone don't hurt Andrew Luck no mo. Because we're not talking about the Mo bone anymore. We're talking about a high ankle sprain. And the question from fans and media and anybody involved with this thing on the periphery without firsthand knowledge of it is saying, what the hell is wrong with people? It's been 5 months. How do you not know what the hell is the matter with this man's leg after this period of time? So now you're going to try something new to try to alleviate the pain. That's not the way this kind of thing normally works in the National Football League or any other organized sports organization. That's not the way it works. It seems like Andrew Luck, either there is unique confusion around his physique and his anatomy, or there's something wrong with the way this man is being treated either by the team or by his own physicians, his own orthopedists, whatever it is. There is enormous consternation and enormous confusion around what ails this guy, whether it was the shoulder and that thing being pristine, or it's the leg and it's the Mo, or is it the high ankle? What the hell is going on with Andrew Luck? And the thing that really gets this the cyclotron of misinformation spinning and these bizarre narratives and conspiracy theories moving and gathering gravity is that Andrew Luck doesn't talk about it. When he talks about injuries, he's not honest about it. He doesn't reveal things. We know he wants to be a private guy. We know he doesn't like his fame. He just loves football. He doesn't want to be a famous guy. He doesn't want prying eyes to look into his life and cast judgment. That's who he is. Some people are private. Some people are public. Andrew Luck is really, really private. He does not enjoy people looking into his health. It is none of their business in Andrew Luck's world. And really, it is nobody's business. But you know what? You've got season ticket holders, and you're making a ton of money to be the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. And the reason you're making that money is because people care whether you're the quarterback or not. If you're the quarterback, this team can win the Super Bowl. If Andrew Luck is not the quarterback, they are not going to win the Super Bowl. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. Jacoby Brissett is just not that guy. He's too indecisive in the pocket. And when you're indecisive in the pocket, you get hit, as he did back in 2017, like 4 million times. Andrew Luck has that value because he's the most important player on this team. And he can't be the most important player and the reason that people buy season tickets if he obfuscates or he dodges questions. You can't have that. You've got to give people who you are and what you're doing and what your physical well-being is at any given point, because people have got to make educated decisions about whether they're going to buy tickets, about whether they're going to invest in this product or not, and that's why the Colts pay him the big bucks. So he's got to man up, and he's got to start communicating with the media and through the media to the fans, or do it on your own. You want to write a piece for the Players Tribune or the Athletic or something like that, go ahead. Do it however you want, but you've got to be transparent, because if you aren't transparent, all you do is ratchet up the speed and the interest with which media comes after you. If there is a truth that goes untold, the media is going to investigate it, and the media will investigate hard in some instances, and nobody wants that. And the way to diffuse that, the way to take the pressure out of the situation, is to tell the truth. If you tell the truth, all else goes away. I'll tell you a quick story about Mayor Richard J. Daley, who's the mayor of Chicago from 1955 to 1976. While he was mayor, he gave an insurance contract that belonged to the city to the insurance company that was run by his son. And this is a big hullabaloo. There were charges of nepotism. It was all very unpleasant, all right? So Daley gets behind the podium, and people in the media are yelling at him about this nepotism and about giving the insurance contract to his kid. And Daley looks at him and says, listen, if we've moved to a place in our society where a father can't help a son get started in business, what the hell are we doing? And you know what happened? Even though he freely admitted exactly what he was being accused of, nothing negative happened. Nobody else had any questions because he admitted what he was being accused of. And as a result of that, the story went away like in a day. If you continue to not provide the answers that people are demanding, you are going to be held accountable for it, and your life is going to become more miserable. If you want people to not pry into your private life, don't have one. Make everything public. All right? That's what Andrew Luck's got to do. Andrew Luck has got to be transparent, or this is going to be grotesque for him moving forward, because now people are quite certain that they can't trust what he has to say. After the shoulder thing, now after the leg thing, people are going to think he's full of crap no matter what, and so they're going to continue to gnaw, and they're going to continue to pick at scabs to see what's underneath. That's what the media does. They pick at scabs. They try to find the truth, especially when they know the truth is not being provided to them. Andrew Luck's got to get out in front of it. Let's talk about Indiana University football for a minute. I went down to practice yesterday. We talked about this yesterday a little bit, and then again this morning on Breakfast with Kent. And I want to be real clear about one thing as I cast judgment in some respects about Indiana University football. First of all, I went to one practice. Second of all, I'm not a football coach. But at the same time, I have some education as to the game of football, and I've got eyes that can see. So, okay, here's the deal. I saw practice. I saw them through my eyes. I know what I saw. I saw one practice. So the judgments that I'm advancing here are based upon that limit. Okay? One practice, and it's me. This isn't me talking to somebody who's coached a million years of football. You know, I wasn't on the sidelines yesterday at Indiana University with the late Bill Mallory talking about football. I saw what I saw. And I got to tell you, I went down to Bloomington yesterday hoping to see something that would make me feel hope for this upcoming season. And I saw nothing. I looked everywhere. Look, the defensive backs aren't bad, but you don't win Big Ten championships. You don't go to bowls because you've got a great defensive backfield. That isn't the way college or professional football works. You've got to have really, really good quarterback play. You've got to have a quarterback who's a positive point of differentiation if you're going to be special in the Big Ten. And by being special in the Big Ten, for Indiana, what that means is you're competitive in the Big Ten East. You've got Ohio State, you've got Michigan State, you've got Michigan, you've got Penn State. Those are four monstrous programs that you're competing in that 17-team division. All right? You've got to have a really, really good quarterback in able to compete in that division. And the Indiana Hoosiers do not. They have Peyton Ramsey, who's the same guy as he was as a freshman and a sophomore. He's a guy who can dink and dunk a little bit. If you zone him, he's going to read the zone and he's going to find the hole in the zone. He's going to be able to do that. But if you put 8 in the box and you bring pressure, he can't throw it far enough or hard enough when he throws it far to be able to complete passes downfield. If you dare him to beat you it deep, Peyton Ramsey can't do it. Now, Michael Penix is kind of a different deal. But Michael Penix is a guy who relies on his wheels to go get positive yardage offensively. He can also throw it a little bit. He's left-handed, and that's a bit of a complication because you got to kind of flip the playbook. But anyway, with Peyton Ramsey, you know what you're going to get. There is a low risk and there's a low reward. With Michael Penix, you got a high risk and a high reward because, like I said, Penix likes to use his feet, And when you use your feet, you got a good chance of getting hurt, like Penix did when he tore his ACL last season. So there you go. There's your decision. And this whatever, when Tom Allen says it's a three-man race, I'm sorry, it's not. Jack Tuttle is not the equal of either Peyton Ramsey or Michael Penix. They say in football that if you've got two starting quarterbacks, you don't have any starting quarterbacks. I looked it up this morning. I can't see a saying that says where you've got three quarterbacks, you have anything. Three starting quarterbacks, I do not believe the Indiana Hoosiers have. Jack Tuttle would do better as a redshirt this season than in any other role. I think Penix is the guy who possibly, conceivably, could lead Indiana to a bowl. Peyton Ramsey, you get what you got. His 2 seasons as a starter, part-time as a freshman, and then full-time starter last year, you've gone 5-7. He's a quarterback of a 5-7 team. And that's the way this works. Now, Tom Allen, I don't believe that he's on the hot seat. I don't think that at all. I think that whatever happens this season, he's got at least one more year, because what he's done, and he's been clever in the way he's done it, is he's advanced the notion that recruiting is better and the depth on this team is in young guys, whether it's redshirt sophomores, redshirt freshmen, or freshmen. That's where the strength of the team is, according to Tom Allen, and it's going to take time to be able to see whether that's an accurate depiction or whether it's not. If it's inaccurate, he's going to go after these guys, these sophomores, become seniors. If he's right, and that does continue to get better and improve for Indiana, you know what? Fred Glass is going to see this thing through, and Fred Glass, for my money, is the guy who should be the athletic director at Indiana University. I like the way he's built that department. I like what he's continued to do with non-revenue sports. And I think Indiana continues to move in a positive direction in basketball, and that's really the key to the deal, is basketball. As long as basketball's better, people are going to tolerate a little mediocrity in football. They always have. They always will. Indiana, historically, the most mediocre football program in the Power 5 conferences, and I don't expect anything about that to change this season. As we said, looking yesterday, you saw nothing that made you believe that this team has the ability to win in the Big Ten at a level that they haven't won in the Big Ten the last 2 seasons. Tom Allen, he's got his megaphone. He's shouting platitudes at guys. I get it. He's yelling at guys to not leave their helmet on the ground. I get that. It's all good. Indiana is Indiana. I'm going to be down there for all the home games. It's going to be laughs. It's going to be beer and hopefully some reasonably decent football. So there you go. That's Sports Nothing But Sports for Wednesday, August 14th, 2019. Brought to you by the great people at Today's Dentistry. Give them a call, 317-849-2933. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow on Facebook Live at 8 o'clock and then on Periscope at 8:15 in the morning for Breakfast with Ken. It's a show so nice, we do it twice. Thanks for joining me.